Hi, I'm Michael Ware with NotationTemplates.com. I'd like to show you how to use my church/pop orchestra template in Dorico. There's so many great time-saving features. Let's take a look. As you can see, I'm open to the template in Dorico Pro. On the left page, we see an instrumentation sheet along with substitute parts. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then on the right side, you see the first page of a full score. This template is set up on 8.5 by 11 size paper for both score and parts. That's not real common in concert music, but it is for church orchestra music because these churches are downloading the orchestrations and printing them themselves. So I think it makes sense to have it formatted on the most common paper size in the US. The template uses Times New Roman as the text font and Finale Maestro as the music font. I think it makes for a very nice, clean look for the score. You see the score information at the top of the page here. I would encourage you not to edit that information on the page, but go to File and Project Info and enter your information here. I'll put my name as an example. The instrumentation for this score is 2 flutes, oboe, 2 clarinets, bassoon, 2 horns, 3 trumpets, 3 trombones, tuba, percussion, piano rhythm, and strings. One thing to notice here is that our flute 1 and 2, clarinet 1 and 2, and some of the other wind parts are actually on combined staves, both in the score and in the parts, where you would have flute 1 and 2 together. It's so easy to get started writing right away. I would encourage you with these combined instrumental parts to do a careful inspection of your accidentals, like flute 1 has an F sharp here. Your flute 2 player would really appreciate a reminder there, since they may not have seen that F sharp in the flute 1 part. So there's no automatic way to do that. Dorico really doesn't expect that there are 2 parts on one staff in an instrumental part, but that's very common in church orchestra music, so that's the way this template is set up. Just watch for those type situations. I'd like to show you some of the special features in this template. One is with this keyboard string reduction. It's so easy to write that part. If you go from your transposed score to working score with hidden parts, I actually have a view set up here with your piano rhythm, strings, and then you see the keyboard string reduction at the bottom. It's very easy to get started writing that part, and you can use some of the explode and implode features in Dorico to help you write that part and filter certain notes, and some great features that you can really make use of to write that part. And then it won't be included in your published score, but you'll have a keyboard string reduction part. I'd also like to show you how the substitute part works. A substitute part: soprano sax for oboe, bass clarinet for bassoon, alto sax for horn, and tenor sax for trombone. I'm going to write some music for horn. There we go. And I can even switch to the horn part, and it's being automatically formatted as we expect. But here's the cool thing about substitute parts. You can click that alto sax part, and it's properly transposed, and you don't have to do anything extra to get this part. So it works the same way for those 4 substitute parts that I mentioned. Such a great time-saving feature. I'd like to show you some of the power of the formatting in this template by copying some music from another score. This is a piece that I wrote. I originally notated in Sibelius, and I imported this into Dorico as a music XML file. I haven't done anything with it. So I'm going to copy music into the template just to show you the power of its formatting. And you could do something similar if you had a project from Sibelius or Finale that you wanted to redo in Dorico. I'm going to start off by actually doing Command A or Select All. That would be Control A on Windows. And we're not just going to copy it all as is. We actually want to copy the structure of the piece first. So that would be key signatures, time signatures. So I've selected everything, but I'm actually going to deselect some of the elements in the score by going to Edit and Filter, and I'm on Deselect. I'm going to deselect Notes. I will deselect Res and Dynamics and even Text. And then I actually don't want these frame breaks from the original file here. I just want to show you that all the formatting is coming from the template. So I'll select all breaks there, Command C, copy, and I will just paste that, Command V, onto the score. So there it is. It messed up my clefs and percussion, so I would actually need to change this to a bass clef there. And percussion is always interesting. You might have to do a little bit of tweaking if you need another line in percussion, if you really have a lot of percussion, and assign your instruments as you want it for your project and what instruments are part of the percussion staves. Like this one has unpitched percussion and glockenspiel is what's in there by default. But you will probably want to go in there and edit it according to what you're writing. We have the overall formatting. I'm going to copy some music. How about strings? I'll click the first measure of first violin, hold down Shift, and then the last measure of the bass part, and copy. And now I will paste. Click the first measure of violin and paste. So you can see that in the score. It's very nicely formatted, well spaced in there. I can look at my violin part. We have two measures on a page 4. We could easily go into engrave mode and squeeze those two measures in where the whole thing was on 3 pages. That'd be so easy to do, but we have a very nice, well-formatted part. I'm going to copy. Let's look at piano rhythm as well. I'm just going to copy all the piano rhythm from the score and paste into piano rhythm. Again, it looks good in the score, but look at this piano rhythm part. Very nicely formatted. There is not much you would have to do to that at all. Maybe just bring this down a little bit by editing your frame. I think that would help, and you could just make it look a little more even if you needed to. But again, such good formatting in this template. Let's do some of the wind parts. By the way, your staves will need to be in the same order in what you're copying from and the template that you're copying to. If they're not, you might just have to do one staff at a time. So I've selected all of that, copy, and I will paste, just starting in the first measure of the flute part. So again, that score looks really good, and we can look at, how about our clarinets as an example. Again, a very clean, easy to read clarinet part here. You could play with your staves on the last page just to make it a little bit more even, but there is not much you have to do to that part at all. That's part of the power of this template. I could copy in the timpani part in the same way. The percussion, if you're trying to come from another file, you'll have to assign your instruments and make sure you label everything correctly. That takes a little bit more doing, but I hope this shows you some of the power of the template and why it might be useful to you. I hope you'll check it out at notationtemplates.com. Thanks for watching.